You're welcome to SaharaTV once again and to the Africa Updates segment. On this particular episode, we will be speaking with a pollster and the managing editor of the Dispatch newspaper in Ghana. Ghana just changed, or actually got a new EC boss. Kwadwo Afarijan is gone on retirement, and Charlotte Osei is now the new EC boss. This and other issues, Mr. Ephson is going to help us to break down on this episode of the Africa Updates. You're welcome to SaharaTV, Mr. Ephson.
Thank you very much, and pleased to be on our platform.
Thank you so much for making time with us. So let me start by asking you, sir, Miss Charlotte Osei, or Mrs., I'm not too sure, is now the new EC boss. Miss.
Mrs. Charlotte
Mrs.
Osei, yes.
Okay. So how are Ghanaians receiving Mrs. Charlotte Osei?
Well, I think that there were quite a number of names that had been touted round, and the president made the appointment as per the constitution, that is in consultation with the Council of State. Her name came up and she's been sworn in. And she was in Talensi to last Tuesday's by-election, and she was there.
Yes, so what's the general narrative with Ghanaians, though? Are both sides of the political divide happy with Mrs. Osei's appointment?
Unfortunately, I don't think that the appointment of the president will have to bother. Because if they are going to get the political parties to agree who should be the EC boss, they are going to have a referendum of political parties. And the important thing is that quite a number of people do not know how the EC works. There are 7 commissioners, of which she is the boss, the chairman. So I don't think that you are likely to get an agreement of all the stakeholders as to who should be the EC boss.
Tell us how it works, though. You mentioned in an interview that Ghanaians have no choice but to accept that choice. How does it work? How is the EC boss selected?
Well, the EC boss is selected names on the advice of the Council of State. So that's basically what it is. And the EC boss has the Commissions of Service and Stature of an Appeal Court of the judicial system of Ghana. Now, from where I sit, you can appoint Nana Akufo-Addo or Jomama as the electoral commissioner. You lose elections not by the one who is the electoral commissioner, by not being vigilant at the polling station where you vote. If you are not vigilant, by the time one Ghanaians vote, let's say in a constituency there are about 200 polling stations or 300 polling stations, the votes are collected at the polling station. They are sent to the Constituency Collation Center. Then it's sent to the region before it comes to the national headquarters in Accra. So if you are not vigilant at the polling station, by the time it gets to Accra for it to be announced, they put slippery okra on the ground for you.
Okay. So that actually makes nonsense of my next question, because I was going to ask you if you think that system needs a tweak. Do we need to revise how the EC boss is selected? Obviously, you don't think so.
I don't think so. When Afarijan was selected by General Rollins, people say he had appointed Afarijan to be, as Afarijan was an NDC. Afarijan supervised 2 victories for NDC, supervised 2 victories for Kufuor, supervised 2 victories. I mean, whatever you do, and once man's head is a coconut, you cannot know what's in the head. But Afarijan has been very impartial. He has been very good at his job, 22 years. So that is it. Okay.
So let's get back to Mrs. Osei for a second. How do you assess her ability to deliver? You think she can stand the pressure at the EC?
Well, I think that the EC job has more pressure points than the NCC, the National Commission for Civic Education. One of the first comments I made about her appointment is that she will have to go thicker skin to withstand the criticism. And I think that he's got 2 very efficient deputies, and almost all the regional directors of the Electoral Commission and Environmental Health have been with the EC for at least between 15, 20, 25 years. So he's got very capable and experienced people who who are going to help deliver.
Okay, now let's switch slightly off Mrs. Osei and speak about general issues concerning the election, next day's election and all of that. The demolition of Sodom and Gomorrah, that slum that brought so much news out of Ghana, seems to not have sat well with a lot of people from the National Democratic Congress, that's the governing party. However, you have mentioned that it could actually be a blessing for the NDC in 2016. How so?
You see, the June 3rd fire, in which nearly 160 people died. When the fire was burning, they did not ask them their political coloration. And the Sodom and Gomorrah, if the government is able to keep its word and clear it, and the yearly flooding does not happen, and the people are sort of resettled, you get floating voters who vote for the president. That he's taken a decision that many presidents have shied away. So it is the aftermath that could be a blessing or a curse on the ruling government.
But 17 months to the election, though, is there enough time for all these things to manifest enough to convince Ghanaians that that was a good decision?
Oh, but within the next 6 months, you should be able to see, because mind you, next year by this time will be time for the flooding. Across perennial flooding happens June, July. In between this time and next year, it's kind of abated. It's a plus. So the president doesn't have a choice but to go the full hog.
Okay. Now let's also look at the Supreme Court, and after throwing out the case by the NPP against President Mahama, the Supreme Court ordered some reform to be carried out at the EC. What have you seen so far?
You see, the political parties in this country are so lazy. I've done a bit of election work in the U.S. I've done some in Cote d'Ivoire. I've done some across. Middle class are often the polling agents for political parties. In Ghana, many middle class prefer to sit behind their beer and barbecue and expect the results to flow in. Even in Nigeria, you have people who are doctorate, masters, lecturers, being the polling agents for their political parties. The reforms that the Electoral Commission and the Supreme Court emphasize are things that were in the pipeline. For example, Ghana moved from voting opaque ballot boxes in 1992 to transparent ballot boxes. We've moved from thumbprint voter ID card to biometric. So I think that the reforms are not a big deal in terms of what should be done. I think that what everybody has learned, and I've written 6 books on the election so far, so I know what I'm talking about, modestly speaking, is that people need to be vigilant at the polling station. Once that is done, 2016 will have a very free and fair and transparent elections.
So you are a respected pollster, and ever since you surfaced, on the scene in Ghana, you've pretty much been on point with your projections. 2016, all things considered, is it going to be NDC or NPP?
It's 17 months is too far. If you ask me in September next year, I'll tell you who will win.
Okay.
We are just starting our baseline study, and we'll do 70% of the work this year. Next year, we'll do another 30%. By September, I'll have a fair idea where we'll be heading to.
So
I wish I had the power to guess. Otherwise, I'll be taking a lot of lottery,
So that of course says that your work is not based on guesswork at all. If the elections
if it was based
were
on guesswork, if it was based on guesswork, I'd be happy to guess lottery. Elections every 4 years, and I've done 5 elections within 2% margin of error.
Yep, that's right.
People tell me that it's guesswork. I said, hello, I can't wait every 4 years to do guesswork for elections. I prefer monthly guesswork on the lottery and win every month. So I just leave it to them,
Okay, let's not put the guesswork in people's minds so too much. No,
I mean, some still believe it. You see, some still do not understand. I got the first rudiments. People don't know. In 1994, I was in the University of Maryland College Park doing a postgraduate diploma in U.S. foreign policy. That's when my interest in opinion polls started. Before I came back to Ghana in 96, so I started, when I came back, I used the first opinion polls I did in 1996 elections. I used the U.S. methodology, the U.S. attitude. I got 68%. And between 1996 and 2000, I developed my own methodology, and from 2000 to date, 4 or 5 elections, I've been within that 2% margin of error. People still believe that I guess I have magic power. I can't please them all. Only that I will do my opinion polls, and the results will vindicate me or throw me off.
So if the elections were to be today, what would it look like?
I don't do that because with the nature of the work I do, I haven't done research yet. So how can I say that if it were held today? I don't do if it were held today. I don't do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ephson. And we will definitely be knocking on your door many times as we wait 17 months for Ghana to either maintain President Mahama or choose a new leader. Thank you so much, Mr. Ben Ephson.
Thank you very much.
All right. That was Ben Ephson, a pollster and managing editor of the Dispatch newspaper in Ghana. The Africa updates on SaharaTV. Stay tuned. There's more coming your way.